Yeah. You put down the dividers, prepare all the cracks, mix up the terrazzo, the sand, cement, and rocks. You can make it black or white, or everything between. You can inlay precious metals, pick your favorite sheen. Terrazzo is timeless, it's back, it never left. Legendary architects choose it 'cause it's best. It suits so many styles, art, deco, modern and old world. From grand hotel lobbies to your modern two-bedroom suite.
My name is Nolan Mayrhofer. I'm the founder of Victoria's Stone Design. Chancellor Blvd is the most significant project we've taken on to date. The only way to describe the complexity of this project is to say that it has a place on the timeline for historical terrazzo installations since Roman times. There's only so many projects that have this level of complexity, and it's not that we're geniuses, it's a combination of the architect, the general contractor, the homeowner's desires for finishes, and our team that's come together and make this so impressive. Let's start with the substrate. It all begins there. You're putting expensive terrazzo covering over top of a unlevel, cracked substrate. It's gonna telegraph through and no one's gonna be happy. So we had basement 02, slab on grade, basement 01, 4-inch structural slab with hydronic heating, main floor, same thing, 4-inch hydronic heating. What we did is we ground the concrete with a 6 grit profile to give it a mechanical profile for the epoxy and sand and the terrazzo to bond to. We did all the crack repair, and in some cases we used carbon fiber stitching to repair bigger cracks and stop them moving. Chancellor Blvd had a ton of brass. The brass had to be set to within a 1/16 inch of finished height. So when we're going around the glass panel and the floor, we're going around the curtain wall and the Schüco window frames, we would put the brass essentially about a 1/16 of an inch above the Schüco, protect the Schüco of course, and then grind down. Now, when you're working with 1/2 inch brass or aluminum divider strips, you see it more in the brass. There's only 3/16 of an inch of workable material. So if you set the brass too low, what happens is you go into that aluminum stanchion, and now you have a thin line of aluminum coming through your brass, and you got to cut it all up and repair it. Also, there was miters everywhere in the brass at different angles, so we actually notched the brass and the stanchion so it would fit and it wouldn't move when we were pouring the concrete. We needed those angles to be perfect, the dados to be perfect, everything had to be flawless on this project. Protection was a big deal in this project. We were working around a ton of really, really beautiful materials. There was a structural glass triangulated floor plate that sat in the main floor and looked down into the gym. This had to be obviously covered, and we had to put brass divider strips with CNC rounded pieces around each corner that met in with the straight runs of the brass. That was held about a 1/16 of an inch off, and we had to essentially protect the glass and pour it while we were pouring the terrazzo. The Schüco frames and all the glazing also, same thing. We used essentially layers of vinyl tape, and then we went over top of that with flashing and then more tape. And then we slowly ground down and pulled up the layers. Everything needed to be protected. Everything needed to come up and then be reprotected. It took a lot of time, but when you're working around finishes services, it's super important. For the main body of the floor, we had to get it super flat. So what we did is invent a router sled with little swivels on the bottom of the feet, and we would level that out with lasers and then essentially cut dados in the floor diagonally across it and along the walls. Now, we would grind down until we got rid of those grooves. Once we got rid of the grooves, we knew we were getting pretty close to the brass. At that point, we'd usually switch over from like a 16 grit to a 30 grit, slowly bring the floor down, we'd start seeing brass, and then we were there. Now, we had to make sure that there was no dips and valleys and high spots. So at that point, we would set up lasers on the wall, and we would have mapping take place where we would have somebody essentially, it's a full-time job just to go around with a tape measure using the lasers and map out on the floor if we're at 0, minus 1/16, plus 16, make all the marks. We had a little bit of a room to move, but essentially taking out humps and avoiding the dips before we ran the big heavy machines again. For this project, we also ran pneumatics for a lot of the polishing and grinding phase. The DG150s and the Hilti DG130s did a lot of the work for the hand edging. But once we got the bulk of the work machine down, we ran into pneumatics so we could get behind things. They were lighter, just so much easier to get in and not wear out your body and do precision work, because that's what we needed to do. We needed lots of light, multiple lights coming down from different directions to see the scratch patterns, and a lot of skill and tenacity with your hands to be able to get into little details, work out bumps, get up against window frames and Schucos and glass and all the details that we had to work around. Once we got the floor set to height, the brass was exposed, it was pretty easy from there. All the trickery was in getting the brass to height up against the Schüco, getting the reveals against the wall, all of those tiny little details taken care of and looking good, and getting the scratches removed. From there, it was standard polishing, fill the holes, polish it out to the desired sheen, burnish it, blah, blah, blah. Not a big deal. We also have the island to go install. There's a separate video for that. I'll put that right up there. There's going to be precast and exterior to come. There's going to be interior tiles and then all the exterior concrete as well. So there's a bunch of details for this project. It's a big deal. We had a lot of fun. We were challenged. We were pushed. Big thanks to Postle. Working with them was a dream. Their team is incredible. They do incredible work, and we are thankful for the opportunity to be involved in this project. We learned so much. We were challenged. Can't say it was all glory, but at the end of the day, we invented new techniques. We learned. We became better at our craft, and we had a lot of fun. I'm very proud of what we achieved. So stay tuned for other parts. There's going to be the cabana. There's going to be the exterior, and we always got exciting projects to share with you. So subscribe, like, do all that stuff. Hopefully you're into the content we're making. Rock on.
Mix up the terrazzo, the sand, cement, and rocks. You can make it black or white or everything between. You can inlay precious metals, pick your favorite sheen. Terrazzo is timeless, it's back and never left. Legendary architects choose it cause it's best. It suits so many styles, Art Deco, modern, and old world. From grand hotel lobbies to your modern two-bedroom suite. You put down the dividers, prepare all the cracks. Mix up the terrazzo, the sand, cement, and rocks. You can make it black or white, or everything between. You can inlay precious metals, pick your favorite sheen. Terrazzo is timeless, it's back and never left. Legendary architects choose it cause it's best. It suits so many styles, Art Deco, modern, and old world. From grand hotel lobbies to your modern two-bedroom suite. You put down the dividers, prepare all the cracks. Mix up the terrazzo, the sand, cement,